Hello and welcome back to Spirit Guide Daily. This is Cronecast at the Rising Moon. Hey guys, today I'm going to be pulling 3 cards from the Guardians of the Night Tarot. We're going to get an activation card. It's a portal oracle energy. We've got the Making Magic Oracle as well. Before I get started here, guys, don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. You can book me for a private reading at therisingmoon.com. That is the only way to book me, and I will never approach you in any comment sections. And I have Logical Magic Examining Esoterica, which is a podcast where I discuss all manner of things, but in particular, try to check out the stuff for healing because we're all trying to heal something. Let's get going here. And also, the Spirit Guide Daily will be available. It's Monday through Friday energy. It is timeless, and you'll find it when you're meant to, but it will be moving to a Patreon and a membership level for January. The King of Wands in the upright. Boy, that's a manifesting energy if ever there was one. The King of Wands is, like, remember, in tarot, the court cards have multiple meanings, and one of the meanings of the kings is something seeing fruition or manifestation. The queens are like gestating something. They're getting ready to give birth to it, and the kings are like, boom, there it is. The King of Wands are all about actions, creativity, things happening. It's about things happening quickly as well. The Wands are the quickest manifesting energy in the deck. We have the 6 of Pentacles in the upright. Everything coming out in a balanced state. Success is one of the energies of that. It's generosity as well. I like this very much. It's a receiving energy. It's got that bull on it as well. Bulls, of course, are very tenacious indeed. Please remember, when you get something like the 6 of Pentacles in the upright, if you're drawing cards for yourself, if it's in reverse, it's always going to be about a need to balance, or you're spending money or losing money. One of the things I will teach on that membership Patreon thing is going to be reversals. I don't see enough people teaching them, and I don't even know how you just read tarot in the upright. I've always read reversals. And in fact, I'm about to prove it. With the Judgment card in reverse, we have a snake on that. Remember, snakes are about new beginnings sometimes. Sometimes they're about attachments, but most snakes, remember, a snake sheds its skin. The Judgment card in reverse can be a warning around not practicing poor judgment, but it is also about a new karmic cycle beginning. Karmic cycles are the pits, man. There's just like no way around it, because sometimes they can last for, I guess close to a decade. And it can be so hard because people feel punished. It's like, no, they're actually trying to teach you something. I did do a podcast on karma with Jacob. By the time these go up, it will have been out. Karma is about lessons that we're trying to learn. It is the energy that we have accumulated that we're trying to resolve. You're in a very balanced state on that. The King of Wands can be like an actual human being coming into your life. And if it is, for those of you seeking relationships, know that it starts out in a very balanced state, but like it's kind of the onus is on you to make sure that it stays there. If you have been in a codependent energy in the past and are used to giving and giving and giving and never receiving, you may actually have difficulty receiving. Like you feel guilty, or you're trying to even that scale constantly. And like, maybe learn to relax, because you're not thinking of it this way, but it's an issue of worth for you. When you won't allow yourself just to receive, and like you're always trying to even a scale, maybe don't think of all your relationships quite that way. It can be okay to be on the receiving end of somebody's attention, particularly if like they're putting an effort on something. Because it's just somebody making some efforts on your behalf, and it starts a new cycle in your life. I think it's going to confuse you a little bit. And is it a romantic relationship? It might be. It doesn't have to be. But it is something where you're going to have a challenge around how you view your own worth in something that's being brought to you. And meaning that like you have a hard time believing yourself worthy sometimes. Sacral portal, creativity, intimacy, and inhibition. The sacral chakra is like about 2 inches below your belly button. It's the orange one. It's creativity, it's drive. It's also sexuality and passion. The King of Wands is often very related to that. You're going to have more energy again. I think that you've been exceptionally tired for a really long time. And I think you just maybe thought, well, maybe I'm broken. Maybe this is just the way. Wishes come true. This is the way I am now. It's not. It was part of a cycle as you were things got worse because you had to confront some things. That's the easiest way I have of putting it. Meaning that like you kept ignoring something, so they kept being like, no, we're just going to make it worse and worse and worse until you have to deal with it. And it wasn't because they were punishing you, it's because we want this cycle to end for you as much as you do. Wishes come true, rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. Excellent energies on this particular batch as well. I do film these in batches and then I mix them up, so I don't even know which one's coming up. This is a beautiful energy, the King of Wands being a manifesting energy with that wishes come true. The sacral chakra is all about, it has to work in conjunction with the solar plexus chakra to really be about personal power, but it is like the spark and the drive. The main energy that I've got out of this though is that like you did a lot of healing to be able to get into a space where you're able to have more balance in everything that you're doing. It's almost as if you dreamed of like having something, doing something, creating something, being something, and it took so flippin' effing long to be possible that as it arrives in your life, you do not overinvest in it as being the sole thing that will be anything to you any longer. You're not looking to an exterior source any longer, you're looking to an interior one, and the exterior source you look to is your connection to source, to others. It's not about a label or a job title for you any longer. If that doesn't quite describe you, then you will get there. Please understand that like these are supposed to be close-in energies that like manifest within about 72 hours, but sometimes it's the light at the end of a tunnel. That if you've been on a really, really long journey and you're like, how much longer is it going to be? As long as it needs to be for you to be healed and in a balanced state. And when you're in a healed and balanced state, you resent that a lot less. The more you resent something like, what do you mean it's going to be longer? It's like, okay, well, look at that, because it means you're very unhappy in your here and your now. What can you fix in your here and your now? What can you heal in your here and your now? So that the here and the now is worth celebrating, even if these things you have been trying to achieve are not there yet. And that's what the point of our discomfort is on our journey, is understanding that you can't pin your happiness to one thing, but rather to your interior world and your relationship to self. And it becomes far less fragile when you learn how to care for yourself. And that is really one of the things that has been happening. And it's this energy of like being in a balanced state and being able to receive from somebody without guilt or shame. Because like it really, you don't think of it this way, it was about self-worth. Is that you could never just take something and be grateful and say thank you. You thought you had to give back. And giving back is important, but it is not done in a, if you've given to me, you've given me alone and I must pay you back immediately energy, which is what I've got you like having moved past, is that now you're just far more likely to be like, hey, thanks, but not feeling like you owe somebody. I think you understand that other people are responsible for their actions and their choices, and that you don't need to compensate them just for treating you well. Okay? So that was an interesting one. That was a Spirit Guide Daily for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to look for my podcast, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you would, please. These and more will be coming out in a Patreon and in a membership capacity in 2024, which means I'm going to be working my butt off for the next couple of months, but that's nothing new. And I had to learn balance around that as well. Take care. Be well.